Hi everyone, so it's Dani again, just with another tutorial. This one is going to be on prep for acrylic extensions. So my client came in and she was wanting a new set. So I've sanitised the nails and now I'm just pushing back the cuticles. So I just use the cuticle pusher for this and just move back any cuticle that's there, and you can see what comes off, and that's not even a particularly sharp cuticle pusher. I actually did a new one. So yeah, I just roughly push back the cuticles because I do go in with an efile. I think it's a skittle bit that I use. Yeah, to clean up the cuticle area as well. So it's just quite a rough push back of the cuticles before I go into the next step. So here I'm going in with the efile, that bit that I mentioned before, and I'm just going in one direction along the cuticle area, and you can see all the excess cuticle that I didn't get with the pusher coming off there. So it really is worth, if you've got the training in the efile, to do this as well. And there's no trauma to the nail or anything like that this causes. It's on a really low speed, and it is just for excess cuticle. So after that, I go in and take any bits that are kind of hanging, not any living tissue or anything like that, just bits that look a bit unsightly. You can usually see that they're flapping a little bit, and that they're loose, so they're fine to take off. There is a bit of debate as to whether you should nip cuticles at all, but my feeling on it is that if they are extra bits and they're not living tissue, then you're fine. So yep, then I just go with a sanding band. This is just to roughen up the nails ready for the acrylic application. So I do this before I put the tips on, so that there's a rough surface for the tips also. This is again on a really low speed, and I'm just kind of tickling the nail plate with it, just to roughen up a little bit. I mean, you don't need it roughened up that much for the acrylic to adhere, more so than you do for, say, a gel polish or something, but still not that much. And these are medium grit, I think, sanding pans I use. Yep, and this is me just going in with the tips. These are Pro Impressions clear square tips. I think they're great. They are half-weld tips. I just prefer to work with half-weld. I do have some well-less tips. That's a bit of a mouthful. Have some well-less tips, but I just find that these are a bit better. Like that you can put the glue in the well, and I just like how they sit. The only time that I probably wouldn't use well-less tips, half-weld tips, is if the nail beds are particularly short, because you don't want to be covering up too much of that nail bed. But I would probably sculpt anyway if their nails were that short. But she's got a pretty decent nail bed, so it was fine just to go straight in with those tips. So yeah, I just apply them. So I think before this part, actually, I've dehydrated. I don't think I left that clip in because the video was getting a bit long. So yeah, I just go in, make sure that they fit from sidewall to sidewall, and just pop them on with just like a wee bit of glue that you put in the well. I'm talking like 1/2 mil. Like, you really don't need a lot, because otherwise it'll seep into the side walls and underneath as well, and you don't want that happening. I do sculpts and tips. I find tips easier. I probably just need to practice a bit more with sculpts to get my time down, but I don't find them more challenging. It's just personal preference, really. So here I'm just trimming down the tips, and get my client to check the length. I think she wanted a wee bit more off these. So again, just trimming a wee bit more off, getting her to check, and then I just go ahead and do the rest of them. At this point, it doesn't matter if they're all exactly the same, because you're going to come in shape afterwards anyway. So yeah, as long as you've got kind of a rough shape there. So yeah, then you come in with, I come in with my hand file. I just taken these side walls, she wanted a coffin shape. So just taking the side walls, but not too much, because you don't want to be damaging that natural nail. So I start off with the sides, and then I go over the top. Again, you don't have to do this. I just feel like I can see the shape better when I do this. And I feel like it's easier for my client to see the shape. That probably sounds really silly, but because you can see the shape even if they're clear, but I think it's just an easier way for the client to see, and I've always done it, so yeah, that's what I do with all of them. So yeah, go along all of them and shape them, edge over the top. This also helps them to blend better. I mean, these are half weld, so you don't need to You would need to if they didn't have a wale in them, but these have a wale. And so I kind of go back and forward between the nails. I'll shape each of them individually, and then I go back to the ones that I've done just to make sure that they're basically quite uniform, and then I check them again afterwards, after I've done all of them, and go back. I think I go back to the pinky quite a lot because I think I'd left that a wee bit longer. So yeah, I do that, and then I will go in and dehydrate again. I think I keep the clip in for the second time that I dehydrate, just because by that point either I'll have touched the nails or the client will have touched the nails, and you just want to make sure there's no oil or debris on those nail beds at all, or that'll cause lifting of your acrylics, and that is not what you want. So yeah, just keep on filing with these, going back and forward and checking. And it's here that I like to check with, well, I always check after the first nail with my client if they're happy, because what you don't want to do is shape all of them and then go and say to them, oh, do you like the shape? And then they say no, and then you have to shape all of them again. So usually after the pinky's done, I say to them, is that the kind of shape and length you want? If they say yeah, then I can go on and do all 10 nails. And then once, just before I'm about to put acrylic on, I get them to check again, just to make sure that they're happy with the shape and length. Because it's a lot more difficult to take the length down and a lot more time consuming once the acrylic's on. So you kind of want your shape to be where you want it to be. You'll go in and refine afterwards, after the acrylics went on, because that'll add obviously some bulk. You'll want to refine that down again, but I find it's best to check anyway. So yeah, that is that, and thanks for watching.